Hi friends, today we are going to be doing an AM routine while we chat about the topic that you saw in the thumbnail. I was kindly sent the last Jolse Box. We're going to be trying on some K-beauty products today. We've got some affordable products, including a vegan snail mucin product from Pacifica. And we've even got a bit of kind of very light makeup products. It seems we're going to do another trending year of barely there makeup. As a beauty enthusiast, we're going to have a fun try-on today, which is good because the topic of this video is, it's the tariffs, friends. Quick intro and then we can get into the video. So my skin type is dry, acne prone, and a bit sensitive. I have timestamps and links in the description box below as always. I want to just jump into this routine because I think we have a lot to try on. So about Jolse. Jolse is a K-beauty retailer that is based in Korea. That's going to be really relevant if de minimis really is overturned for Chinese companies, including YesStyle and Stylovana, which is set to go into effect right now on May 2nd. If you are big fans of YesStyle and Stylovana, I truly do think Jolse is the closest retailer to the feel and experience of shopping those websites. Now, these boxes sell out quickly whenever they pop up because they are simply incredible. They are such a phenomenal value and so well curated. This one came with one of my favorite products, the Mary and May Eye Cream. It came with the By Wishtrend Vitamin A Amazing Bakuchiol Night Cream. This contains both bakuchiol and retinaldehyde. Brilliant. Brilliant. Some retinol supplements that I've already broken into. How neat is that? Really getting to try absolutely everything. And then finally, what we're about to use right now, the glutathione niacinamide toner pad from APLB. This must be one of the new releases that came out while my therapist is telling me it's okay to call it grief, while my grief was at its worst. I just kind of missed a lot that was going on in the world. I think I'm back and ready to fight, you know? So we have some pretty basic packaging here. It comes sealed. Directions. After washing your face, gently wipe the entire face, excluding the eye area. Now, as you all know, I have a dry skin type, so I do not wash my face every single morning. And the direction of the skin texture. So the textured side, I guess. We have a textured and a more smooth side. So I need to tell you all a couple of things. One is that I've come to some realizations. I was posting about them over on my Instagram account. One is that when we get these negative comments here on this channel, I just want you all to know it's not from subscribers. I have never not talked about politics on this channel. I am part of the LGBT+ community, and therefore I am politics. I haven't ever shied away from that, so, you know, we had a handful of people that kind of tried to stay, and when they realized I'm just obviously super anti-Trump, obviously, they couldn't handle it, so they've already left. Okay, they've already left. I guess we do have a few stragglers who like to just send me nasty messages pretty much every day. I heard a long time ago that haters make some of the best fans, and I'm really starting to believe that. But there are people that are claiming they've been long-term subscribers, and they just haven't, you know. Why would you be anti-trans and subscribe to this channel when you see right here, trans rights are human rights? And it's not like we haven't talked about that. We've talked about that a lot in a lot of videos. That is wholeheartedly what I believe. So that's nice. You know, we have a really affordable option for toner pads, affordable asterisk for now. Friends, this VT PDRN was also included in the box. If things were not so chaotic in the world, today's video would actually be my PDRN review. I've got so many products to talk about, so much to compare, including salmon-based PDRN versus this right here. This is plant-based, this is ginseng-based PDRN. But it's just that this particular week, the topics are too relevant. It's too relevant to what we do. We've got to take some time to talk about it. So I'm putting the PDRN video off for yet another week, but I'm so excited for it. I am so excited for it. Oh, is this a vegan routine today? We just used the vegan PDRN, and now we're using the vegan snail alternative, snail mucin alternative. So this is from Pacifica. They wanted to send me their new packaging. So this isn't necessarily a new product. I do think it's one of their newer products, but not brand new. This, by the way, if you're interested, is part of the Ulta spring sale, which is ongoing. I guess I'm posting this at the same time as the Sephora sale, aren't I? But I've gathered that less of you are Sephora fans. We're kind of more of K-beauty and Ulta fans over here. So 30% off on the Ulta website. Wow, this is interesting. It really is very lightweight. A little stringy, not too much. This is definitely more of a lighter snail mucin alternative, but very nice texture. It is initially sitting on the top of my skin. We'll see how it absorbs. So this is so funny. We were actually watching Ferris Bueller the other day. Apparently I am late to the party because I guess other people had already noticed that at the beginning of Ferris Bueller, there's a scene where the professor is talking to a room of very bored students. And the professor is teaching a history lesson about tariffs, about the tariffs that preceded the Great Depression. In it, he says, did these tariffs work? Anyone? No, they did not work. And, you know, the scene is so wild to watch in 2025 because I remember watching Ferris Bueller when I was younger and thinking that the point of the scene was how boring the lecture was. All the students, you know, drooling on the desk, right? This is such a perfect microcosm of the problem because students were too bored to listen to the actual history. But if you listen to the actual history, if you know your history, then you understand why tariffs are such a bad idea. I am no expert in, you know, geopolitical policy, but I have seen people talking about this and I did look into it, and it's fascinating to realize that this roughly has happened every 100 years. I saw someone say it's almost as if the previous generation who remembers the negative impacts of the tariffs has to be gone. Once they have all passed away, then you have a new generation who doesn't remember and who is just, you know, bored in class listening to tariffs, voodoo economics, who cares, right? According to economists, we are all about to find out why this is such a bad idea. And I mean, it just intuitively makes sense. You can't impose this additional tax and expect other countries to just pay it and not pass the price along. That is just not how anything works. That's not how anything works. As these businesses have to pay more to import products that they are selling to you, do you think they are going to pay it? No, you are. We've started to see Korean beauty brands arrive into Sephora, right? Astura. We've started to see them arrive into Ulta with Manyo and Skin 104. But with these new tariffs in place, the prices of these products, which are already higher than they are on Style Korean, Jolse, etc., it's going to go up further, as are your drugstore prices. This is just how it's going to go. Speaking of Style Korean, moving on to this one from Tokobo. This was my free gift in my last Style Korean order, which I placed in December. Because of all of this instability, I have barely been able to order K-Beauty myself. By the way, these new filters, the filters that are used in Asian countries as well as European countries, if this all goes through, you know it's going to be harder for us to get these. Most of you well know this and have already been doing stocking up for a long time, right? I am going to miss chemical sunscreens so much because, as we've talked about on this channel, if I can't import these, I will have to go back to mineral sunscreens because I have irritation to oxybenzone as well as avobenzone, and those are our only UVA approved filters in the US. Otherwise, I have mineral filters which protect against UVA and UVB, although if I'm correct, not as efficiently. That was layer 1. This does have some fragrance in it, and it's got a little bit of a green color. Not much though. I mean, as you saw, it really is just blending into my skin. Very lightweight. The only catch with this very light type of sunscreen is that you have to be really careful to make sure you get it everywhere. It blends in so fast that it's almost too fast. But let me be honest with you, give me that any day over the very slow mineral sunscreens, you know? I did want to let you know, I did make an order in the Yes Style Spring Festival. Because de minimis is still in effect until May 2nd, and because Yes Style is pretty reliable with their shipping, I made sure to hit the minimum for express shipping. I will let you all know how that goes, but you know, it's so sad to me to think that that could be my last Yes Style order because I love them dearly. I don't want it to be the last. I talked about this in another video. I don't want to have any kind of hostility towards other countries. Why would we do that? And what I've never understood about the people that voted for Trump is that he's so obviously a bully. I feel like they voted for him because they've been tricked into feeling that he will bully the people that they don't like. That's not how bullies work though. Bullies bully everyone, including including you. If you voted for him, his policies are going to hurt you unless you are a billionaire. That's the exception. He's going to help out his billionaire friends for sure, but all of our taxes are going to go up. Mine are going to go up. So that's our skincare routine. Pretty simple today. I do want to use some of these makeup skincare hybrid products. Let me tell you about the Versed products. So they sent me a few of them, and I just have to say, I get the idea of the multi-serum skin tint SPF 40, but I think that this is one that's more for oily skin types. As we kind of were just talking about with zinc oxide, which is at 13.1% in this product. That is one of the mineral filters, and it's just an astringent ingredient by its very nature. So even when companies try to add in emollient ingredients, that's why sometimes a mineral-based product will start out feeling almost oily, but then through the day, it'll start to feel drying. Have you had that experience? That might be something you notice more if you have dry skin like I do, but yeah, that's what I noticed with this product. That's shade 2 in. It is certainly a good match for me. I did see some people saying this oxidizes. I personally did not notice that, but you know, I certainly have a lot of antioxidants in my skincare routine. So as I've said before, that could be why oxidation really typically isn't a big problem for me. On the other hand, it could be more of an interaction with oils in your skin, and because I'm dry, that could be why I don't see that interaction. Regardless, it didn't change color on me. I just didn't like that drying sensation that I felt with it. They also have a Tarte dupe, essentially, the Tinted Lip Serum. I think it's a nice, affordable alternative to Tarte products, which I don't like buying anyway. But absolutely, this was my favorite, the Shade Swipe Blush Stick. If you are familiar with Merit at all, this is so much like their blushes, so much like using their blushes, except in a little bit more of a longer shape as opposed to that wide shape. This, of course, makes sense because Versed and Merit are actually owned by the same people. Who are not MAGA supporters, by the way. All of the rumors. The rumors. This is very light, not for those of you that want a lot of blush, but if you saw my rant about the Glow Recipe Flush, I appreciate that we are calling this a blush. We're saying that it has some skincare properties. Okay, it really just has some fatty acids and some oils. But I do think it's a nice, subtle blush. I really like it. This shade, by the way, is Bloom, and it is made in Korea. Oh. We're gonna do the Peach and Lily last because I think I want to try the MAC lip gloss in Blow. MAC, your edginess cannot be suppressed right now, can it? This is Ginger Zinger. By the way, this was sent to me by Ulta. I think Ulta sent me gratis. I think that's what they call it, right? This wasn't one of those big PR boxes with all of the extra fluff. No, it's just the samples like you get if you work for Ulta. And it's just 3. It's the perfect amount to get to try these. I'm not the big PR person. That's why I don't have a P.O. box. I don't want companies sending, oh my gosh, I don't want companies sending me their full foundation range. I am so thankful that I've had companies reach out and ask if I want that because I immediately go, no, please do not send me that. Send me 2 shades at most. What am I going to do with the deepest shade of foundation? Be problematic? And you know, people always think, oh, just donate it. To who? Do you understand that with foundation, you have to find the perfect match? Do you think women's shelters are sitting around doing shade matches for the women they're helping? No, that's... Anyway, this is me trying to be appreciative for companies not sending out excess. I think we're gonna maybe even have more appreciation for that as we roll into the This is called Recession Roots. Now, this is supposed to be a very intense plumper. I have tried it once before, and I thought, let me not add too much of this because I feel like this could be the equivalent of habaneros. You know how when you bite into a jalapeno pepper, you know how when you eat something seasoned with jalapeno peppers, the heat is pretty instantaneous, whereas there are certain peppers where it's not. You bite into it and you think, oh, it's not that spicy, and then a few minutes later you start to feel the heat. That is exactly what I noticed with this MAC lip gloss. Because we also have the Air glosses, and I've really been enjoying Aesthetic, actually. I wanted to try on Snobbish today. I should have gone in this order. Why did I not go color first and then a dab of this? I don't know. We'll put this on. We're going to let this sit for a few moments and try on the Peach and Lily Glass Skin Luminizing Stick. Now, again, I don't know if you follow me on Instagram, but I also bought from Isamaya. They have this new blush and highlighter duo, and I can't believe how much I love the highlighter in that. Maybe a clear highlighter is going to be one of the big trends of 2025. It's starting to feel like that. And that is what this is from Peach and Lily. It really does have quite a skincare-like ingredients list, but once again, I appreciate that we are still calling it what it is. They say this is a highlight and hydrate stick. I did receive this from the company, by the way. I like to highlight under my brow and then right here. I think that's nice for kind of a more subtle highlighter effect. You can always, of course, go a bit more overboard if you would like to. I do feel like my biggest question with this product is it's $39, and again, in this economy, memes are about to really be at their peak. Are you ready for it? Peach and Lily is a brand that runs a lot of 50% off deals on the Ulta website, so I do expect to see that. What do you think? 40? I probably wouldn't repurchase it. 20, maybe. Of course, I do want to see how this lasts on me. I'll still have to let you know if I prefer the Isamaya or the Peach and Lily more, but I do like the convenience of the stick. I just applied the new Master Mascara by Makeup by Mario. They actually sent me this, but I've lived and learned, do not open my big mouth about mascara until a lot of time has passed. You just do not know. You do not know a couple weeks into mascara how it's going to be a couple of months in. Seems nice so far, but we shall see. So I did wipe off the gloss. Did we have much of a plumping effect? I'm also not lining my lips because I want to get an accurate color here. So this is Snobbish. Oh, I'm probably going to want to add a lip liner with this one. Or we just really lean into the 2008 recession core look, you know? So I'm going to try again to add a little more ginger zinger on top of that. Are these different applicators? Oh, they are. The ginger zinger is much more of a zinger. So I'm going to let this sit. Before I close out this video, I want to end on a positive note, because even though the tariffs news was truly terrible, this is not necessarily a hopeless situation. It is possible that there could be actions against this. We already had de minimis overturned, but it created so much chaos that it was immediately reinstated. You know, again, what is the point of stopping all of the packages that have $4 worth of goods in them to assess tariffs? What is the point of that? So hope isn't lost. This is also the kind of situation where, again, I don't want this to be true, but this, if things proceed as they currently are, it is going to hurt all of us, including people that voted for him but were a little more on the fence. And I think that that group of people could be the ones to say, okay, so suddenly I had to pay 3 times as much for my K-beauty products after voting for him. I think next time, let's vote for a Democrat. And one more thing that I think is really exciting. I've been seeing more people talk about the importance of community. We can do this. We can ask ourselves, what can I give to people in my community? What can I do to help out? We've always been reliant on this system wherein, you know, just go to work, get money, and buy what you need. But if that money doesn't buy our needs anymore, we are going to have to try to figure out how to fill in the gaps. And I do believe that we can do it. That's my bit of hope for you all, and that's it for today's video as well. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe. I hope you all have a most wonderful weekend. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.